Tension is building in the Ministry of Agriculture because the minister and the PS are not reading from the same page at all. In fact, the supply of fake fertilizer has exposed the differences between Linturi and PS Paul Rono. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our channel. Kenyans have got a right to the correct information, and as we stand, we don't know who is speaking the truth. When it was first found out that fake fertilizer had infiltrated the supply chain and they found their way into the NCPB, Paul Rono, who is the PS in that ministry, issued a warning.
Hatutaki kupatia kuharibu maneno ya fertilizers, maneno ya mkulima kwa sababu ya wakora. Najua kuna wakora wengine kuliko wakora. Hata naona kuna wengine wanaonyesha magaa. Ameenda kutoa magaa ya ukweli, anasema hii ni fertilizer. Hata hiyo kweli. Hata you don't need a lab. Sio? You need a lab kusema hii ni magaa. Anatoa magaa. Lakini tunafanya uchunguzi every step, na tumesikia na tunafanya uchunguzi sahihi kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo fertilizer tunapatia mkulima, na hiyo fertilizer vile yule supplier alisema wakati wa kupata contract. Na tukipata kuna yeyote anachezea mkulima asubuhi na mapema, utapiga nduru, atapiga nduru. Akiwa wapi? Akiwa kwa jela. We are making sure that the fertilizers we are giving out, from the time we procure, meet the necessary test and the requirements for our soil, for the farmers. Lakini sasa zingine pengine kuna wakora hapo katikati. Na nimesema asante kwa wakulima. Nikitembea nauliza inagaje, unaonaje? Unajua wananisaidia.
And I want to tell the PS, I know you are equal to the task, and I know you will make it one PS.
Now, he didn't end there. He went ahead and banned the distribution of the said fertilizer. In a letter directed to the NCPB, Paul Rono wrote this letter that was directed to Joseph. And this is what the letter says. It's a bit faint. I'm struggling on my side. I think it's because of the lighting. Suspend distribution of NPK fertilized manufactured by Rain Chemical Limited. And this is what the letter said. The above matter refers, following a spot visit by the ministry staff led by the principal secretary to counties and national cereals and produce board stores, it was established that the above fertilizer being distributed under subsidy program may not be meeting the required standards as earlier indicated. Your institution is requested to suspend the distribution of the fertilizer with immediate effect from being issued to farmers. Additionally, you are required to carry out a thorough investigation to ascertain the specifications of the fertilizer before being introduced in the program. In the event the fertilizer is found not to be meeting specifications, the supplier will meet the cost, and it is signed there by principal secretary, and the copy was made to the cabinet secretary. Now it seems that this did not go down well with Linturi. And while they were and I remember it started with Dennis Itumbi. While speaking at Rita Tinina's burial ceremony, Itumbi defended the government and blamed, as usual, I think was blaming the opposition of trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. According to him, There was nothing like that. And he was saying that even if it contains, and he was saying that even if it contains the cow dung or donkey dung or any animal dung, that's okay. They can easily use it. And that is where this narrative was orchestrated. Now, a few hours later, Linturi, who is the CS in that ministry, borrowed the narrative from Itumbi that it was okay to use animal dung as fertilizer. And while visiting one of the NCPB, this is the information that Linturi gave us, contradicting that which his PS had given and supporting Itumbi's position.
Serikali ya rais wetu is a responsible government. Na sisi ndio tunaelewa uchungu ukosefu wa chakula kama viongozi wale mmepatia nafasi ya kuongoza. Na tusipopata chakula, it means raia na wananchi tutakuwa na shinda, tutategemea misaada na mikopo. Kwa hivyo sisi kwa sababu ya kutumia sayansi, kwa kutumia teknolojia, tumeangalia fertilizer ile njema inaweza kwanza kuhakikisha inaponesha mchanga wetu, sababu DAP ilikuwa inaharibu mchanga, asidi inazidi katika mchanga yetu. Nilikuambia tumefanya organic fertilizers, 50% chemical, 50% organic na crop specific fertilizers. We pushed wale wengine, mulitusikiza na tunawashukuru, ndio mazao yameweza kuongezeka. Kile na waomba, sababu our government is responsible. Ile mwito tunaomba, wachaneni na ile story watu wengi wanasema.
Now the minister did not just end there. After contradicting his PS, he went ahead, and this is what he shared on his social media handle, that I have this evening directed the NCPB Kenya and the Kenya Seed Company Limited outlets countrywide to remain open during Easter holiday to facilitate our hardworking farmers' needs in the ongoing planting season. And then he said, I also assure our farmers that all farm inputs at the NCPB stores are tested and certified by our regulatory agencies. Happy Easter holidays to all farmers and Kenyans. So that is the position of Linturi. While the permanent secretary had done a letter to the NCPB to ensure that they stop any distribution of the fertilizer, Linturi is telling them to remain open and continue with the distribution to support farmers because there isn't anything like fake fertilizer. Now, I want you to see what Itumbi is telling us today. The position of Linturi, because this was started by Itumbi himself. Itumbi is telling us that Unga price drop is attracting unbelievable promotions. In some cases, Unga is selling at 99 shillings. Now you understand the investment in attempting to brand subsidized fertilizer as a combination of rocks and soil. System Yama Facts is the William Samoei Ruto-led program is working. According to Itumbi, there is nothing like fake fertilizer. He feels someone is sponsoring all this to sabotage William Samoei Ruto. This has been their position all along. Whenever there is a problem, whenever they've been caught, they always run a narrative that there are some unscrupulous businessmen. I think they're also mentioning, if you ask them very clear, they will tell you that it is Uhuru Kenyatta, Iduna and Raila, who they believe or they want to blame of sabotaging the program. Yet this is something that farmers themselves are crying for about. In fact, other farmers are saying they should be refunded their money. Ladies and gentlemen, what exactly is happening? Because clearly, we cannot be dealing with two centers of power. Who is Dennis Itumbi in this government? Because the last time I checked, Itumbi was appointed as a CAS, and it was thwarted, all the appointments were thwarted by the courts. Of course, it was reintroduced and they're about to get back to work. But who is he? Because the last time I checked, the minister or the cabinet secretary is responsible, together with his PS, of any success or failure in their government. But in this sense, it is now Itumbi who has taken a lead role in determining what is happening, the kind of information that we must be given. And this cannot be accepted. I know Itumbi, William Ruto really invested in Itumbi because of propaganda during the campaigns. They sold the propaganda, and William Ruto, is in office now. We are no longer campaigning. We need a transparent government. We need clear information. And if Michiga Linturi is allowing Itumbi to dictate what he's telling the masses, he doesn't fit to be in that office. We would rather give it to Itumbi then, because this is not acceptable. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen this kind of penchant where whenever there is a serious problem, leaders from Mount Kenya would always protect William Ruto even when things are wrong. In this sense, Itumbi and Linturi are now protecting the government. But leaders from Rift Valley are confronting this menace and they want to know the truth. And this tells you that the leaders who are still sleeping, because Rift Valley members of parliament are asking questions and they are saying if there is anyone who is involved in this kind of unscrupulous business, they need to be apprehended forthwith and they need to meet full force of the law. And that is why the PS suspended the distribution. But you can see how wengine sasa wanatetea president at the expense of farmers who are suffering. It reminds me, the other day, the member of parliament of Molos, Kuria, in the ongoing suspense of avocado levies that is really affecting farmers, the MP went and told us that such levies are not contained in the Finance Bill 2023 at a time when Rigathi Gachagua himself is trying to conduct meetings and has already, formed a task force to look into the issues that are bedeviling avocado farmers. This is serious. This is very serious. When there was a controversy in some land in Naivasha, that is in Nakuru County, the member of parliament of Naivasha, Jane Kihara, went there and instead of standing with the hustlers, the people who voted for them, he went there to read the Riot Act and protecting the president. And so the president knows very well that whenever there is a problem and the government runs into problems, Mount Kenya MPs will be there. No wonder when the president is distributing, some projects, development projects in other countries, what Rigathi Gachagua is requesting for is that they go and feast in Sagana Lodge. And William Ruto is very happy with that, giving them some delicacy. We need to be very serious. And Itumbi cannot take people for granted. We have shortage of fools in the country. We cannot allow him to continue hoodwinking Kenyans. We cannot allow him to continue campaigning, because campaigns are over. The government must deliver. This is not theory. People have shown fertilizer that is mixed with some donkey dung and dung from even dogs and stones. And here he is contradicting. Does it take people for fools? This cannot be accepted. Is there anything that Ron does not know but Mithika knows? Is there a cartel that the PS does not know exists in that ministry? William Ruto must reign over this docket. We cannot have fake fertilizer in the ministry of agriculture. Then we have doctors going on strike and Nakumincha cannot solve this problem. Everywhere there is a problem. The sooner William Ruto dissolves a cabinet and gives us fresh blood, the better. Because all these members who are now manning the dockets were rewarded. They are all politicians. Linturi, Machogu, all these people, they are either friends to the government or relatives or people who are rewarded because of their political stand. and Kenyans are suffering, yet Kenyans are maintaining their offices with their hard-earned cash, their secretaries and securities and big cars, guzzlers, yet they cannot perform. I'm still asking, who is Dennis Itumbi in this government? Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take.